Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Speedify Live Office Hours. I'm your host, Alex Gizis, and with me is Will. Looking at the video locally here, we have a really low frame rate.
Yep.
So, post in the comments and tell us if that's real or just a local thing. Are you guys getting a really terrible frame rate from us? Either way, give us a follow, smash that like button, subscribe, and don't miss a stream, right? We are here to answer your questions. That's what Office Hours is. You post questions in the comments, we answer them. So, hello, Ryan. I'm not going to say hello to everyone who says hello. You got to do better than that. I do have a question of the day. What app do you experience performance problems with the most? Tell us about it, right? What apps don't work when you need them to work? Low frame rate is real. All right.
BP says clang.
Yeah, all right. Hopefully, Ryan is going to come running back here and do something to fix it. Set the Wi-Fi back to primary, he says. All right. Somebody has apparently been messing with my Speedify.
That was me.
All right. We'll set the Wi-Fi back to primary, although I don't see how that could be it because it's not just bandwidth. John says, I think it was just natural wheel speed, though. Safari. Yeah. All right. So, here's Speedify. It combines all of our internet connections, and it is combining them. Interestingly, the low frame rate would certainly seem to imply that something not Speedify, that something's eating CPU here. Anyway, we'll
move real slow.
We'll move real slow. Luckily, we're good at that. Hi, everyone. Are you guys at CES? Alan asks. We are not. I had considered what's going on here. Ooh, something crazy. I had strongly considered going, but in the end, I went back and forth too much and sort of ran out of time to get meetings, so we didn't go. But Ryan from Miri is there. So if you're there, you could possibly catch up with Ryan. He is, among other things, also helping Samsung in their booth. And I know that Samsung has been using a Miri router running Speedify for their live streams. So super cool. Check that out. Go by the Samsung booth. Probably can find Ryan if you're there. All right. Hello from Belgium. All right. Cool. Glad to have you. This is the place to talk about Speedify.
Yep.
If you want to drop us some questions, we'll answer them. So you tell me, what apps do you have performance problems with?
Personally, Apple Maps is no good for me. If you're on anything longer than like a 1 hour bike ride, especially, maybe it's just a problem with the trails. It's not as good with those as roads or something, but it'll freak out and stop working pretty abruptly. And it doesn't tell you that it's going away. It just stops giving you directions and lets you keep going wherever you're going. Because the directions are not free. You're going like maybe 15 miles an hour.
And it never does tell you to turn right.
No.
So you just keep going and going.
All of a sudden you're in God knows where.
Boy.
Yeah.
Every program on this Mac is using more than 30% CPU. It adds up to hundreds of percent. Something is really, really going wrong in Mac OS land.
Apple needs to get out of the software business. They're just not good at it.
Yeah.
They make great hardware, but my God, does their software suck. You know what? Xcode.
Here we go. So Simple Jack is back. Hey, update from last time. Unfortunately, Apple did in fact not include X75 in 16 Pro and does not have DSDA for data yet. Sorry for the wrong info. That's all right. So we got there were rumors last week that, Apple was adding support for dual SIM, dual active, right? Today, though Apple has phones with, both the eSIM and the regular SIM, they're DSDS, dual SIM, dual standby, meaning there's 2 SIM cards, but there's actually only 1 radio. So the other ones are in standby. There was a rumor that they were going to, have 2 cellular radios for the 2 SIMs, so you could use both at once, but apparently not true. Time for a new M4 Mac. This is an M1 Mac that we're on, but honestly, I don't think that's the problem. I think some program is going nuts here. If it wasn't a live stream, I would reboot right now. Kamu asks, what happened to Connectify? Are you still working on it? Connectify Hotspot. It's in maintenance. We continue to sell it. We continue to support it. We do new versions when things change, and changes need to be made to keep it working for people, or if we get a really good idea. That's about it. I mean, most days, no one here touches Connectify. Still works. If you're on Windows 10, Windows 11, need to turn it into a hotspot, check it out. Close some Chrome tabs. Sure. Hell, I'll quit Slack altogether. While we're at it. Closing some Chrome tabs. See if that helps any. I don't appear to have thousands of Chrome tabs open, though. Like 4. I had 4 tabs open. So I closed 3 of them. And I quit Slack. All right. It's funny that you say that about Google Maps, because Apple Maps, because Google Maps is the app that gives me the most trouble. And the reason really is, the driveway problem, right? I'm using Google Maps, in tunnels. I'm using Google Maps in my driveway. I'm using Google Maps all these places where internet doesn't work, and it, often just sort of sits there. All right. Simple Jack says, I was wondering whether you could include router support inside the family, team, and individual plans once I can have my own server. This way I wouldn't have to have 2 plans for my limited use. Yeah, I'll just say, we were discussing the exact bundling of plans and users, and whether we quite have it right yet. Nothing to announce, but a couple of people made heartfelt comments like this, and there might be some jiggling of what goes in what package. So, anyone else have any Speedify questions? If you do, you post them underneath. Also, we want to know, what apps do you experience performance issues with the most? I'm right now having terrible problems on this Mac. And, I can't, because we're in a live stream, I can't just start killing things to see which it is. It could be Ecamm running, but I feel like Ecamm is the canary in the coal mine, right? When things go wrong on a Mac, other processes start showing massive CPU, right? Any app on a Mac can ask for a redraw, which forces the other apps on the system to redraw, which makes them use more CPU. So it can be surprisingly hard to figure out which is the misbehaving app. And it's somewhere somebody made some strange decisions, I gotta be honest. I don't want to be the guy agreeing with you that Apple's not good at software, but you know, Apple could be better at software. There's absolutely no doubt about it. When I use my VPN, it doesn't allow websites to open or apps. What do you mean? So, a little bit of a cat and mouse game going on right now. In that a lot of sites have started blocking VPNs because, not that they hate VPNs, because they hate AIs, and the AIs are disguising themselves as as people using VPNs. So that's terrible. We have been making a lot of progress swapping out servers with bad reputation, adding new sites to the bypass rules. There's the bypass stuff. And it is getting noticeably better, and we're not done yet. But that doesn't, wait, worst feeling is when data is so bad that even WhatsApp won't connect. It used to be incredibly low data usage, good old days. Yeah. WhatsApp in the old days, before they were bought by Facebook, have you ever read numbers about it? Well, it was 6 software developers with 4 servers and 1 billion users. Because all it let you do was text.
Huh?
There were no videos, there were no games, there were no ads, there was no... You could just send texts to other users.
Interesting.
And so it was actually a smaller team than Speedify. With, 1% the number of servers. And Instagram was similar. Instagram had pictures. They had a lot more servers. But yeah, it was like 12 people as well.
And built for 2G, BP says.
And built for 2G, that's right. Because they wanted everyone to use it, including the people in India who are on 2G. So yeah, they kept it so little bandwidth per user, right? I bet you Speedify has single users right now using more bandwidth than 100 million people in India were using to text their friends, right? Yeah. And ads are the death of us. One of the features that we had in Connectify Hotspot, in fact, it's there in Speedify. I'll show you. You can choose a DNS server, and one of the choices is Adguard.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal. Watch how much bandwidth you use, visiting CNN with and without, Adguard.
Yeah.
I get 55% less bandwidth. At just over half of the data you send to and from news sites is the ads. So yeah, the internet could be twice as fast if you got rid of the ads. Of course, who's being paid at that point in order to write news stories, that is a different mystery.
Yeah, business model for websites without ads. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Subscriptions, I guess.
It's hard to convince people to pay.
It sure is.
Yeah. People will pay for $5 coffee, but $5 a month, it's hard to say.
Yeah, it really is. All right. I also have Adguard and Adguard VPN. Sure, you can, if you have Speedify, you can turn on the Adguard right there in the DNS settings and get most of the best of both worlds. So, but, all right. So we do have a how-to video about how to fix laggy Discord.
Yeah.
So do check that out. That's on our YouTube.
Hint, it's Speedify.
Yeah. There's some other suggestions in there, but yeah. They work well, Speedify. Good.
That's nice.
What else? Ryan has finally come creeping around here. Here, I'll drag this window over here so Ryan can. Oh, it froze it. We just lost everything. Are we still on? There's no camera. I'm gonna guess that we. Whoa! All right. Overexposed, underexposed. All right. I guess we just kicked the auto exposure loop there or whatever. So that was exciting. So yeah, right after the stream, check out our YouTube. We have a whole bunch of videos. One is about the Discord. Lots of other topics. So there's a lot we put up recently, particularly around Starlink, satellites, and all that stuff. We're really starting to have quite the content library for that stuff. All right.
Oh, that's smooth. Finally.
Woo. All right. How did we fix it? Those of you who watch probably have a good guess. We pulled OBSbot's cameras out. We weren't using them. They were plugged into the computer. OBSbot is going in the fucking trash. Excuse my French. OBSbot's terrible software has messed up so many of our streams. I don't care how nice these cameras are.
They're nice cameras, though. Just like Apple. Great hardware. The software sucks.
So here, I drag one overseas. These little puppies. Do you guys see this thing? Look how cute it is. It's 4K. It's tough with the black on black, but it's this beautiful little 4K camera. And oh, there you go. Thank you. And you know, once a week the software goes absolutely berserk and decides to start auto-focusing or start tracking objects when you specifically told it not to. You know, the grabbing 100% CPU is kind of a new one for it, but
it's learning.
It's learning, yeah. Yeah. So sorry, OBSbot is garbage. Worst product we've tried here for a while.
It fits into the video too. I mean, what's some of the crappiest software you have to deal with?
Yeah.
This is OBSbot.
Is anybody out there using OBSbot? Is anyone out there having a good experience with OBSbot? Man, I am so angry. Although, I got to tell you the truth, which is the reason I have these OBSbot cameras, is that Ryan from Miri had these OBSbots and he was sick of them. And he just said, do you want all my OBSbots? And I said, sure, they're fantastic little 4K cameras. Of course I want them.
I feel like Ryan needs a little bit more of an intro. Has he been on this stream before?
He has been on this stream.
Oh, so we don't know. Yeah. I think of Ryan as like Batman. He's got this truck with all of these gadgets in it, laser printers and
laser cutters.
Laser cutters too.
So everything he owns has a logo in it.
Oh, yeah.
Either his name or the company name or what it is, like, because he walks around with a laser cutter. And if he owns something, he lasers into it, you know, what it is or who owns it, right?
It's plastic.
So cool.
Does he go for plastic yet?
I don't know. I think he does.
Well,
you got to be careful lasering plastic. But...
So you've said. Have you done it yet?
Yes. So I have been. So I bought myself a 5-watt diode laser for Black Friday. Meant to be shopping for everyone else, but instead I just bought myself a bunch of stuff I wanted. And so one of the things they say, you know, a top level, a lot of people say, oh, well, you can't really do plastic, ABS plastic, especially not white plastic. But it turns out, people have figured out, you take a dry erase marker and you scribble all over the white plastic, and then you laser it. And you set the laser to high speed so it goes by really fast. And yeah, you can etch it. I'm not trying to cut it, right? But I just, you know, if you want to slap a logo into things. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are real tricks like that, right? White things are harder to cut with a laser than black things. But you can make a lot of progress with just a black dry erase marker. Scribbling on it to make it black, right? So the laser heats up the dry erase marker until it, you know, damages the plastic. All right, 100% agree. Have gone back to DSLR. Yeah. All right. Joe says, we have Starlink connected, but when the bypass keeps coming up, I think once you should not bypass a WAN port feed, but not sure. Okay. OBSbot stands for obstruction, but yeah, that is right. All right. Oh, so Simple Jack, and there's a good point. It says, be careful with plastic fumes. So what I've done here is I have put the laser cutter on a cart, and our office has a balcony. And when I want to use the laser cutter, take the cart, roll it out in the balcony. And I've been warned, don't use a laser cutter when it's below freezing because you can shatter the lenses. So when the weather is better than it is today, I can roll my cart out there with an extension cord, and I do all my laser cutting outside. And then when I'm done, I bring it back in. So yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of fumes and smells that come off it. Before I figured that out, it seemed to me like just doing little logos on things was fine. But if I ever cut like a piece of wood, even a couple inches, people here would go crazy. What does that smell? Is the place on fire?
I don't know. I liked the smell. It smells like pine or something.
Yeah, if I'm cutting pine, it's kind of pleasant. I assume that if I'm cutting plastic, it's toxic.
Plastic's a different story.
Oh yeah, who knows what giant organic molecules those things are.
It's probably better than the lead we saw.
With OBSbot, turning to UVC mode works better. Does that turn off their smarts? I bet it does. Turn them into a dumb camera. Yeah, it's clearly their software on the Mac is just broken. It just goes berserk. It changes itself to autofocus. It changes itself to auto track. It goes to 100% CPU. All right, so do check out our YouTube. You know, actually, it seems like today all the comments are coming from YouTube people. Normally you have much more a mix of Twitch and YouTube, but that's fine. Either way, on our YouTube channel, go to YouTube, Speedify, or just continue watching after this. We've got a video about Discord. We've got a Between Two Palms about talking about the first live music stream ever on the internet using Mbone and how that's different than today's live streaming protocols. And of course, there's the Discord one. I think I mentioned that. Have we talked about, we casually mentioned the Miri router here a couple times, but do you want to explain it a little bit? Because I didn't carry one in.
So the Miri router is designed to outlive the Earth. This thing has 2 Wi-Fi hotspots, which you can either use to connect to the router or you can use to hook up to other Wi-Fi spots. It's got 2 Ethernet jacks that you can put regular old other WANs in. It's got a 4G and a 5G SIM card slot, and it's got tethering support. And it's got parent share. So you can have 30 connections on this thing, and if any one of them is working,
it actually has 4 Ethernet ports. You said 2.
Oh, whoops!
And 2 come as WAN ports to plug in internet connections, and 2 come to do LAN ports. But they did a software update recently that now in the UI there's a switch for each one, right? WAN or LAN. So if you don't need Ethernet clients, you can have 4 Ethernet ports, right?
Yeah.
The LTE modems or, fiber optic, whatever it is. You have 4 connections and Speedify will bond them all. Or, if you don't have, if you're just using wireless stuff, you can make them all LANs and have 4 PCs hanging right off it.
Yeah.
So that's a really nice software update.
It's also sturdy and well made too, so it's not going to break.
It's very rugged. It also uses those Sony batteries, NPF batteries.
Yeah.
So, all right, Alan says, even if my downstream bandwidth is poor, Speedify still allows my upstream without a glitch. Yeah, good. We work really hard. I think I've jumped back somehow here. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Do you have any resources for installing Speedify on GL.INet routers? I think you have something for OpenWRT, but I'm sure how well it boats with GL.INet and WAN.
Yeah, we've got lots of resources. Check out our YouTube. Maybe we can post some links in the chat, but we've got a series of videos about how to set up Speedify on OpenWRT and different tricks you can do to massage the system into something that works for you. We've also got some support articles that accompany the videos, so you can use them if you prefer, or the YouTube videos. But yeah, check me out. I'll, installing OpenWRT on different routers here and there. I've got some videos on that for sure.
Are there articles on support.speedify.com that point at them?
I don't know if they point at them.
Let's make that happen today.
Out.
So on the GL.INet, I will say MWAN, you pick between Speedify or MWAN. You don't use both at once.
Yeah. That's
their very simple software that's trying to juggle multiple internet connections through doing IP routes. I'm not going to bash it. It's very simple. It's a very little code, and it doesn't do what Speedify does, but you can't use it at the same time Speedify. I think Speedify might just lock it out, do its thing, but I'm not sure. That's not really a thing. You can't use both at the same time. So yeah, here's the link to the discussion about the first ever live music stream on the internet. Here's a link to check out the Miri router. Give me M4 Gilshar. Gilshar, what's that? I don't know.
Gilshar, dude.
All right. Yeah. Is the X510 available in Europe? I'm actually not sure. They were working on the CE. Sorry, blank there for the word. They were working on the CE mark. Go to Miri.tech, check their forums and stuff, or ask them. I should know, which makes me wonder if maybe it's not quite available yet, but it's coming soon. Here's the link to the video he was mentioning, the GL.INet setup and stream test. Anyone who's been keeping up to date with the world, etc., kind of hints that having a VPN proxy will be one of the most lucrative ventures of 2025. Hope so.
Hope so.
Yeah, as long as it works out of the box, I'll choose Speedify over MWAN any day of the week. All right. We are not currently offering affiliate links. To be honest, last time we had them, we got wrecked with fraud.
Yeah.
We had fake affiliates running stolen credit cards, and in the end, we lost money on the affiliate thing. Maybe we should have been more careful, but in the end, man, not such a fan of the affiliate marketing plan. Seems like it ought to make sense, but it appears to really attract criminals to you. And I just don't have time for that. And here's the link to the OpenWRT install guide. So that is probably it. Again, check out our YouTube. We've got a bunch of videos. Setting up GL.INet, fixing Discord. Yeah, thank you. It was not pleasant. That was a bad couple days when we put together that, one of our best affiliates, the team we were working with who was doing the best job of pushing Speedify, was actually ripping us off. And the damage ended out in the tens of thousands of dollars. Just not amused. Should be a simple thing. I give you a link. You convince someone to sell Speedify. I pay you a few bucks. But yeah, I'm burned. Once burned, twice shy kind of thing. That's where I'm at. That is in fact the worst I've ever been conned. You hear people falling for con artists on the internet. That's the one I fell for, and I'm unamused. So there you are. I think we're kind of at the end here. It seems like people are running out of questions. And we've been live for exactly 30 minutes, discounting the intro. And you guys got to see that. In fact, my problem really was OBSbot, not Speedify. Speedify is ticking away here, doing a great job. But sometimes it's not enough. If your PC, if your Mac can't make 30 frames of video, then Speedify has no chance to send 30 frames of video, no matter how good a job it's doing. So, all right, thank you guys. Yeah, check out our YouTube. Check out Miri. Miri.tech is the URL. Although we got links in the chat, which might be easier for you. All right, thank you, Will. Thank you to everybody who asked questions, and Happy New Year.